And we are live. We are live, we are live, we are live. Hello, beautiful conscious creators. I hope that you have started your day with nothing short of health, wealth, peace, love, and light. As we explore healing and conscious creation together in this space, I hope that you'll remember to be kind and patient with yourself and your thoughts. So obviously today is Manifestation Mondays because this is a part of like how my channel works, where I bounce back between like healing oneself and actually rediscovering the workings of your mind in order for you to like lean into a space of fulfillment, as well as teaching about conscious creation, manifestation. So the buzzword is manifestation, and a lot of people know about manifestation. So I'm just gonna share this episode, my take on it, and if you have any questions, let me know. Ask me the questions, because I'm open to answering any questions about how to tap into a space where you are now able to dream and let go of the dream so that they can unfold in your favor. Okay. So I was going to ask for a thumbs up because obviously there's a bit of a lag, like it happened the last time. There's a bit of a lag between my live recording and what's happening on my computer screen and what's happening on my camera. My camera, I'm going. And what's happening here, well, I don't know. It's not going. Anyway, so today we're learning about Manifestation Monday. We're learning about manifestation, and we're going to explore and take a deeper dive into understanding what it is, what it looks like, and how it can work for you, because we're always constantly manifesting. But before I get into the episode, song recommendation of the day, which is the song that I was listening to just now, Kendrick Lamar, Man at the Garden. Yes, Kendrick Lamar, Man at the Garden. And obviously I usually link the songs that I share in my description. So if you want to check out the song, it's very good. It actually very much links to the conversation around today. But one of the main key phrases that he says in the song is, "I deserve it all." And the funny thing is, like, there was an album that he released around 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2022. And I was going through, I was experiencing my awakening, and his album connected to the things that I was actually feeling and experiencing in real time, in terms of just understanding how we are creating consciously a lot of the things that are unfolding in our lives are a result of our thought patterns in the past. So what is manifested today, what is unfolding, what is at play in your current reality is actually the result of your thought patterns, your previous thought patterns, and how the things that you have imagined. And so we are constantly manifesting. So learning about how to be active, being conscious and active in playing out these manifestations, or playing out imaginal acts, and learning how to be conscious of the creations that you have, the co-creation that you have with the universe, the higher power, God, however you label to choose this higher entity, the higher soul. I mean, there's so many ways of labeling it. I mean, based on religion, based on spirituality, it doesn't matter. The point is the co-creation that exists between you and a higher power is important, that you actually learn and tap into this world of imaginal acts and understand how it actually works, so that going forward, you're not just being ruled, or your life is not unfolding solely based on your historical experience, but more so based on the fact that you were intentional about the decisions that you're making in this very moment, deciding on what it is that you want and leaning into that decision by aligning yourself with your dreams, with your goals, by being conscious of this thing that you are creating, how you want to live this life, this short life that we all get to lead, by being active in the process of how it unfolds, or at least being a part of the process by co-creating with the universe, in terms of what you desire to experience in this world, right? So I did like a bit of an overview of the episode, but what I'm going to tackle today is what manifestation, or rather conscious creation. In this space, I label it conscious creation because I want people to understand, yes, manifestation is a buzzword, but I want people to understand that you are active in a lot of the things that play out in your life. So you can be an active participant instead of letting old subconscious habits that exist play themselves out continuously on repeat in your life, and you find that there's no change in them because they are so deeply ingrained in you. So we're going to go through what conscious creation is. We're going to manifestation, conscious creation. We're going to go through the problems that I have found and I sort of have highlighted. And obviously, the more I progress with this work, the more I will expand and elaborate on what other issues exist, problems exist around it, and how you can bridge that gap between you and the problem and the solution that you are trying to see for yourself. And we're going to go through how to actually actively, consciously create, and what are the key things that you need to focus on. And then lastly, just the idea of the outcome and things related and associated with how it then plays itself out. So I've already given an overview of what manifestation / conscious creation is, and it can be defined in two different ways. You can define it under spirituality, you can define it using spirituality, and you can also define it using science. But in all cases, it falls under the umbrella of you are coming into alignment with the things that you desire. And here's why. Because under science tells us that when we are manifesting, we are basically preparing and training our minds because we are visualizing. So the keys behind one of the things that we do when we're manifesting is we're visualizing and we are involving emotion, which is, I heard this from Bob Proctor in one of the shorts that I've watched. But it rings true for like a lot of the people that teach on manifestation. It rings true, this concept rings true for a lot of the people that teach about manifestation. So it is basically, as according to science, you're training your mind, you're in deep preparation so that when that thing actually ends up happening, then you've experienced it so much in your mind and you've seen it so much that your nervous system is like your internal system is not anxious around it. It's not afraid because it's seen it so many times. It's felt the emotions that it wants to experience, and hip hip hooray, there is your manifestation. So it's done. When the time comes, you already know because you've prepared for, this moment that you have been desiring. And you can also link it to, like, if you are into sports, a lot of sports psychologists use this methodology where they apply, so they'll train their athletes, especially like there's an episode on the Diary of a Podcast that I watched, and one of this, he's a ski dude. I don't know he skis, and one of the things that he said is that he trained his mind. He visualized every single, like his events. They were short, very short events, but he played them out so much to the point that he actually became a gold medalist. If I can find the episode, then I will also link it. I should probably write that down. So gold medalist, link in the description. Okay, so that's the science definition of it, where you are in deep preparation of what it is that you desire, this dream that you have, because you play it out and you visualize it so much in your mind that by the time it happens, you're so prepared for it that it feels very natural. And that sort of links with the idea around now spirituality. I mean, they're one and the same thing. They just define in a woo-woo way or in a scientific way. It's one and the same thing. But under spirituality, it's just the alignment and the embodiment of what you desire to become, what you visualize yourself being, having a dream and embodying that dream within yourself, and having the feelings around what it is that you desire to embody, what you desire to see in the world, involving the feelings associated with this vision that you have for yourself. Having that, and then allowing the unfolding that needs to happen, the things that need to play themselves in the background in order for you to have your manifestations. So we can look at it using two very different approaches, but either way, you are coming into alignment, meaning you are matching, you yourself are matching what it is that you're trying to become, because you're currently here, and yes, you desire to be here, but in order to be here, you need to do something to merge these two to become what you desire. Now, before I get into how we do that, the problems associated, or the problems around what we can label as manifestation, is that we've been conditioned, right? Growing up, we've been conditioned based on our parents, and some people did learn manifestation from their parents growing up. Some people didn't. They weren't exposed to those kinds of things. So, but a lot of the programming that exists in the world is cause and effect, meaning you have to do something in order to gain something, right? And what that actually teaches us is that I don't want to say seeing is believing, because that can be defined in a different way. But what cause and effect trains our mind, how cause and effect trains our mind, is that in order for us to feel fulfilled or to believe that our dreams are possible, we must see them happen first in order for us to say they are possible for us. But that is what the problem is, because manifestation, conscious creation, is about the reverse. It is about first believing that these dreams are possible and being led, because the universe will lead you. Once you have the sense of, you affirm, you decide, you are declaring that it is what it is, and believing prior to it showing up, that is now you tapping into the world of dreams where you're consciously creating. So this world that we exist in, cause and effect, you must do in order to see results, and you get excited only when you see results. Again, now we're looking at the feeling side of things. So the key is to not, no, I don't want to use key because we're going to go over the keys, but the problem is we need to reverse the idea of getting excited only when these things show up. Our excitement should begin in our imagination. So remember how I said I got this definition, well, part of the definition from Bob Proctor, because obviously I have to do my research so that I can convey my message a bit clearer. So it's about tapping into these imaginal acts and then involving the feeling. So the feeling does not come from already having and possessing this thing. The feeling comes before. The feeling of excitement for the things that you want, for having this vision and getting excited about this vision, and how this, like being in the moment of excitement with this dream or goal that you have. It's about tapping into that space where you are excited before and not after. And basically, these two key problems are highlighting the fact that the results, we have been programmed to we have been programmed in such a way that the results control our thoughts and emotions, where it should be the other way around, where our thoughts and emotions should then control the results and the outcome that exists in our reality, the outcome that is possible, the possibilities that exist for us in our reality. And now, one of the major problems also under this idea of results called controlling thoughts and feelings is that, actually it's not that, but one of the problems is that a lot of us don't actually know what we really want. And therefore, by not knowing what we want, it's hard to decide on what it actually is that we want. And I mean, there's various reasons why this happens. Because, if you were born being suppressed, like if you were born and your parents or your surroundings suppressed your ability to dream, or you grew up too fast and you didn't play as a child as much, or things got in the way for you to maintain this authentic, this natural child in you that is excited about the things that it's excited about, that, a lot of those things are suppressed because we have a world that says we have to do A, B, C, D in order to achieve E, and then to get to J, and then to get to X, Y, and Z. There's a set rules, there's a set system and rules that says these are the things that we have to follow. And so we end up not knowing what we within ourselves truly want. Hence the reason why I do both, the work on, or I cover conversations on both sides of the spectrum of healing ourselves, healing the deep parts of us, so that the parts of us that are authentic, that are real for us, can shine through. And the more we know about these real things that are very connected to actually who we actually are, it opens this room where we can dream even bigger, we can dream even better. We are so much more open to these possibilities because we know that this is what we truly are intentional about. This is what we truly desire. This is what we want to see for ourselves, because it really truly connects and resonates with us. I mean, personally, I don't believe that not that I don't believe, but there are engineers out there who are probably better chefs than being engineers. Do you see what I'm saying? But because of this ABC, then there's a path that we do generally have to follow. And I must highlight that, yes, circumstances sometimes do play a role, but we'll cover that at a later stage, because you want to uplift, and maybe there's certain things that you want to achieve in order to reach a certain level of maybe a certain level of wealth, and you think this is the channel. But What I'm here to say is that maybe it's not necessarily this A, B, and C is not the only channel that can get you to the dreams that you desire for yourself. So knowing what you want is part, not knowing what you really want is part of the problem that exists. And so, sorry, let me just take a sip of water. Okay, this is brand covered. Yay. Alright, so how do we then manifest? How do we then consciously create? Yes, now, we've highlighted what the problem is and what conscious creation really is. So how do we go about actually doing the work? Number one, it goes back to what the problem is. You first need to learn and remember, or at least remember, or at least know, or have a sense of an idea, an inkling of knowing what it is that you really want. So that's where we're going to start. What do you want? What do you want? Oh, what's this movie? The Notebook. What do you want? Sorry. Yeah. So what do you want? Oh, hello, brother. So what do you want? I'll ask it again. What do you want? Write it down. And if you are struggling to write it down, maybe that's a good place to start in trying to figure out what it is that you actually want. And you don't have to have it figured out immediately, initially, because, some things are trial and error. If you've gone so many years without actually being in alignment with what your heart's desires are, it's difficult to then now suddenly wake up and say, this is what I want. It's challenging for most people. So it's a work in progress to figure out what it is, trial and error rather, to figure out what it is that you really want. And, then you can start opening yourself up to the creativity that exists out there. You can tap into maybe singing, and then you realize, singing is not something that I really want. You start to play around with the things until you find what it is that truly resonates with you. So what's the first thing is knowing what it is you want. Because when you know what you want, it leads us to our next point, which is declaration. Once we have an understanding and a knowing that this is something that I want to see, this is an experience that I want to have in my life. If you want to travel, this is the family that I want to have. These are the types of friends that I want to, knowing those things, then you can get into a space where you are able to declare and say, I'm putting a stamp on the fact that I'm declaring today that this, because it is something that I want, I can achieve it. Because you're clear on your vision. Hello, we have someone. Hello. I don't know who you are, but hello. Or not. It was lost for 1 second. Yeah. And sorry, I got distracted there. But know what you want and desire. So when we once you know what you want, then you can declare that it is actually yours. You deserve it all. You baby girl, you baby boy, you deserve it all. It is all for you. So knowing what it is you want, you're better able to declare it and affirm that it is yours. Because you're much clearer on the vision that you're walking towards. Alright? And now, how do we start actually doing the actual work that conditions our mind, that now starts to shift the state that we're in? which is one of the keys. We are shifting the state that we're in. You know, there's so many realities and possibilities that exist for us out there in the world. And we have the choice to live in any of those possibilities. You know, life is still, like I said in the beginning, we are co-creating with the universe. We are co-creating with a higher power. And so when we get into a space where we are able to dream ourselves into what we desire, then we are now in a realm where multiple realms exist for us, multiple opportunities exist for us, multiple outcomes exist for us, because we have opened ourselves up to the possibility of dreaming ourselves into many different outcomes, many different realities, many different end results, because we are now able to dream ourselves into those different realities. Those realities exist. It's just about us opening ourselves up to these possibilities by tapping into our imaginal space, into this medulla. It needs to be opened to the world of dreams. And we've always known how to dream. We've always known how to be playful in our dreams and do imaginal acts. We played around. I got this from, actually what I'm saying now, I got this from Manifesting with Kimberly. As I go along this episode, I am going to give you references of some of the people that have really taught me, and it managed to click inside of my brain because I started during the practice. But the resources that I'm sharing with you, you're more than welcome to go check them out, because maybe they'll also provide a deeper or a clearer way that you are also able to understand even better. You know, hearing it from many different voices makes things a lot more clearer. So I'm going to drop these references as I go along. So Manifesting with Kimberly also didn't say this exactly, but the point that she was highlighting is that we were playful. We've always, no, how do I rephrase this? Kids are playful. We grew up ourselves being playful, being the innocence that existed in the child that hasn't experienced, you know, this overwhelming world. It's always being playful. This child has always embodied a sense of wonder about the world, because their curiosity about the world says, there's so much more to be discovered. And then as they walk into a different space, there's so much more that can be discovered. And we play around with those things in our mind until, obviously, like I said in the last episode, we formulate these impressions that now become a foundation of our subconscious mind. So we know how to dream. It's just now we've forgotten how to dream, and we need to open ourselves up to that space where we are learning how to dream again, where we are, you know, moving closer and closer and closer into the world, where we are playing around with our imagination, our visualizations, and enjoying the feelings that exist around the things that we are imagining. Because we've closed ourselves off from dreaming. A lot of us have closed ourselves off from our dreams because, you know, if someone shuts you down, or if the world shuts you down enough to say, even if you dream, it's not going to be possible for you. Even like all of these voices, all of these things that happen around us, enough times, you'll also start believing in the possibility of your dreams. So now in the here and now, we are now opening ourselves up and saying, okay, I'm going to let myself be that playful child where I'm opening myself up to the dreams by playing around with these visualizations, these imaginal acts that can help to propel me into the desired outcome that I desire for myself. And so that is what I wanted to highlight. And also, yes, this is the last thing under how we go about it. Now, circumstances exist. Circumstances will always exist. In every situation, there will always be a I take that back. There won't always be a circumstance, but circumstances and setbacks in the world do exist. But once we have declared what it is that we want, because we know what it is we desire, and we have the vision, we have the visual, and we have attached the emotions that exist with those visualizations, those dreams that we have for ourselves. We have connected ourselves with the outcome that is possible for us. Even when the setbacks get in our way, even when the setbacks or the circumstances rather try to throw us off, because we are so steadfast in that dream, in that vision, it's not easy for it to throw us off the rails, because we are stern and we have made the decision within ourselves that we are deserving of that. You, my friends, are deserving of all that you desire. You are 100% deserving of everything that you want to experience for yourself. You are deserving. We all are. And I'm going to leave that on that. And now the key. I've already highlighted what the key is. The key is shifting our state of being. So this is an example that I want to highlight to help you understand why it's important for us to shift. Say, for instance, you desire to have a car. When you think about not having a car, when you think about your current state, your current position, where you actually don't have a car, and you say to yourself, oh, I wish I had a car. There's, I desire to see a car for myself. What that is doing. Oh, no. I like when I say desire to have a car for myself, that's a different way. I shouldn't have phrased it like that. But when you say you wish to have a car and you see other people having cars and you're like, I wish that was me. What that is doing for your body, and I need you to maybe when you do say you wish to have something, just listen to the feelings that are happening inside of you. What's happening is that you're remembering that you're actually in a state of lack. When you wish for something, like it's there, like it's outside your reach, when you're wishing, it feels like it's outside your reach, number one. But also, moreover, when you wish, it puts you in a state of, it's not currently here. Sorry. Oh, my phone was about to ring. So when we are in a state of lack, we are not in a state of abundance. And we're trying to tap into the state of abundance that says, I have a dream, right? And I've declared my dream. And I'm not wishing that it's here, because by wishing that it's here means by wishing that you want it to be here means it's actually not here. And we're trying to reverse that by saying, even though we're not seeing it in the physical, it feels like it's already here. So when we change our state of being, we're changing from a lack of having that thing into a state of feeling like it's already there. Because once something feels like it's already there, it's normalized in your body. Like when you, I don't know what you do, there's a specific, how do I put this? There are certain things that you are able to buy. Say, for instance, every day. You can buy this certain thing every day, or let's use a bar of soap, for example, because I'm seeing, you can get this bar of soap every day. It's normal for you to have this bar of soap. So in wanting it, it doesn't feel like you lack it. In desiring it, it doesn't feel like you lack it, because it already exists for you. It's normal for you to have this specific bar of soap. But say, for instance, now you want to move on to shower gel. You have no normal experience with shower gel if you've never used it before. And when you think about having this thing, it feels far removed from you until you eventually have it. So how we are hacking our mind is to say that actually we do possess these things, even though they're not physically present with us. They are actually we actually feel within ourselves that we already have those things. So the key is shifting your state of being. You're shifting into a space where you're saying, I already have it. You already have it. It's not coming. It's not was. It's already there. It already exists. Yes, it hasn't shown up in the physical. We are leading by faith and not by sight, if I can quote that. We are leading by faith and not by sight. So we are living in here and having that faith and the belief in our dreams. And even though they're not physically here yet, having that sense of, I already own it, or it's already mine, normalizes that feeling in your body. You are preparing for something that when it shows up, it doesn't feel like it's abnormal. It doesn't cause you anxiety so much so that you lose it. Because I don't know if you have watched any series on, or like some stories on people who win the lottery and they weren't necessarily mentally prepared for it. Sometimes those people who gain it lose it just as quickly because they're not a vibrational match for those things, right? They're not yet in alignment for those things. So once you have learned how to say, if I was a millionaire, I'd do this, A, B, C, and D, and you know how you would use the money, you're prepared for it when it comes in, and it doesn't scare you to the point where you just like spending it anyway, because you've already conditioned your mind into understanding how to use it. You've learned ways, or you've imagined ways that it will not fulfill necessarily, but it will fulfill a purpose. I will say that. It will fulfill a purpose in your life. You are mentally trained and prepared for that financial success, for that abundance that exists that you desire to see for yourself. Preparation so that the nervous system, your body is like, I've seen this before. Even though you actually haven't seen it in the physical, but you've felt it enough. You've seen it in your mind enough. You've repeated enough. You know when these